Happy Tuesday, everyone. And happy birthday, Karen and Carrie Dell. We got a fun, fast one for you guys today. It's going to be a good time. In terms of today, though, before we get to the work set, let's talk about the warm-up. We're going to get to a lot of core work in there, and then we can finish off with some skill work. So we got some plank, 3 to 5 seconds in that plank hold, side plank, 3 to 5 seconds per side. Working on that nice controlled transition to the side plank, 3 to 5 reps there. Into our forearm plank with toe point, 20 to 30 seconds. Prone shoulder raise, 6 to 10 reps at a 1 to 2 second hold per rep. Forearm plank again for 20 to 30 seconds. I just left this one as is. You can just do a normal plank. You can add in that toe point again. It's up to you, whatever you want to add in, or just keep normal as a nice solid chance to work stability. Finishing off standing, we're going to work some side lunges, 6 to 10 alternating reps at a 303, and then 2 to 3 rounds of that. After that, we're going to work into our dumbbell sumo deadlift high pull for 3, dumbbell snatch for 2, and then repeat that on the opposite side. So we're going to flow right from that high pull into the snatch, and then, like I said, repeat on the opposite side. Back scale to high knee jump for 20 seconds per side to start getting that idea, that good kind of power generation through the upper and the lower body. Side scale raise for 5 a side, and then jump into some lateral ski jumps for 20 seconds total count, back and forth. Just nice and easy. We're going to use that lateral ski jump in the workout, so don't overkill it, but just start to kind of feel that motion, see your length, your jump, your mechanics for it, and get yourself ready for action. Our work set today is a quick one. It's a nice little sprinter, so attack it, you guys. I want you to attack it really aggressively, but make sure we're moving well. What we have for you guys is a dumbbell snatch of 30 reps, total count, alternating back and forth. Jump squat for 60, and then 30 alternating lateral ski jumps. So those legs are going to be a little fried, but I want you to try and keep moving smoothly into that work set and keeping that body moving the whole time. So top to bottom, nice little sprint, attack it. Like I say, it's not going to take very long, so spend a little extra time warming up and get yourself good to go. Let's warm me up. Let's get you ready. All right, let's get those feet under those hips. We'll take the arms big and tall. Up overhead. This time we're going to shrug to start off our day together. Then we're going to come down with the shoulders, bring an elbow down or a hand down. Big reach through the elbow, and then come back up, big stretch. And scratch our back with the other side, big reach. Oh, come back up, big stretch. Hands out to the T. We're going to turn them in, turn them out, turn them in, and out, and in, and out. Big stretch, big reach. And take it all the way to the floor. Touch those toes. Walk up those shins. We'll come down and frame our foot. We'll step back into our lizard. Nice and square in the hips. We'll take the arm up to the sky and we'll rotate forearm to the floor. We'll come back up. Big stretch. Rotate to the floor. Big stretch. And rotate to the floor. And take that arm up. Plant the hands, step back into our down dog, just settling into those shoulders, making sure they feel pretty good. Come back into that plank, we'll step the other foot up. Inside hand's gonna reach all the way to the sky. We'll rotate, we'll come back up, and rotate, and back up, and rotate, and back up. Plant that hand, take the outside hand all the way up. That hand, step back into that down dog, setting those shoulders up good and strong. We'll come back into that plank, tiptoeing those feet all the way up. We're gonna roll ourselves up, big stretch. And then bring those hands down. Whew. And get ourselves ready to go. All right, so let's pause the video if you'd like to do any more gentle kind of warm-up stuff, cat-cows, thread the needles. We are spending a little bit of time on our hands, so perhaps a little bit of wrist work might not be a bad idea before we move into this next phase. But take that down, then come join me. I'm going to walk you through that first phase of warm-up. All right. So our first phase of warm-up is going to go from plank to side plank. We're going to hold 3 to 5 seconds in each position, and we're going to do that for about 3 to 5 reps. So I'm going to get myself established in that good hardy plank first. So my hands just outside my shoulders, but underneath of my shoulders. I'm going to pull my ribs in, press my shoulders. I'm going to hold this good tight plank for a solid 3 to 5. From here, I'm then going to roll supporting through this arm, pressing into the ground. Take that body up into that side plank for 3 to 5. Once I come through, I'll set that plank, roll, making sure that that balancing arm is nice and stable and strong, and then I'll come back to center. That would be 1 rep. So a couple things to think about depending on your side planking abilities and your comfort with that. It's okay if you want to drop that knee for that supported side plank. So if I'm in my plank position, I hold for my 3 to 5, I lower the knee, turn that foot to the side, squeeze and open my hip so that I'm nice and level, and then I reach that arm up to the sky, and then I just come down with the hand, straighten the leg, and I would do the same thing on the other side. So I want to squeeze my hip. So my hip and my arm are in line with each other and not pushing back. So I'm just going to demonstrate from the front here. So we don't want our hip back here. We want to make sure we squeeze and get that hip in so my hip is in line with that arm. So take the time, set that up well, dropping the knee down if you'd like to first, or staying in that full side plank without that knee support. Whatever's going to give you the best balance and allow you to maintain that proper position. It's going to really help for that stabilization in the snatches later on to have that arm nice and active and ready. After this, the plank to side plank, we're going to move into our forearm plank with toe point. So we'll get ourselves into our tabletop, lower our elbows down to the ground, activate the shoulders first, step into my plank, pulling the ribs in, and then if I'm comfortable, I can either hold that full forearm plank, or I can work on pointing the toes, taking away that point of balance, remembering that I'm not trying to lift the leg, I'm just taking away one of those 4 points of balance by just pointing my toe. My leg stays level with my other leg the entire time. I'm not trying to lift it up with the hamstring or the hip. I'm just pointing a toe and then bringing it back down. And I just alternate back and forth, nice and steady for 20 to 30 seconds, or holding that forearm plank or knee forearm plank, depending where you're comfortable with. After that, we're gonna lay right on our stomach, and it's back. It's back. Prone shoulder raise, toes together, arms straight, body long. We're gonna squeeze our toes, we're gonna press them into the floor, we're gonna squeeze those ribs in, armpits press down and palms press down. So we can establish that good hollow position first. Then from there, maintaining that hollow, we're gonna lift an arm, keeping that armpit down towards the floor, press it into the ground again, switching sides, maintaining that good hollow the entire time. And you're gonna do that for 6 to 10 total reps. Now with that, again, if you need to reset the core position in between those reps, please do so. It's a good thing to check in between every 4 reps just to make sure we're keeping this active and that hollow position through the shoulders is also still there and established. So we want to make sure that we're getting those good set reps in there and not just kind of getting them done with a loose midsection. After the prone shoulder raise is done, we go back to our forearm plank for again 20 to 30 seconds of either forearm plank, knee forearm plank, or that toe point. Whatever you'd like to add in there, you're more than welcome to. Just something that you're going to be challenged with for 20 to 30 seconds. And then you're going to stand up nice and tall into that nice wide stance. We're going to get ourselves engaged, set through the glutes and the ribs. I'm going to think squat. So I want to think hip to heel, keeping that torso upright as I take myself down towards that heel. I'm sitting tall through my torso like I'd be doing if I was in a squat. I push through that leg, opening up the hips, setting and coming down, knees tracking the toe, chest is up and tall, and I push through that leg. And I'm going to take it back and forth, nice and smooth at a 303 tempo. So we're really focusing on that squat mechanic. I want you guys to make sure that as you're going down towards that heel, that we're staying upright as best we can and not going for depth if we're leaning forward. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're staying upright. If you start feeling yourself tipping, stop your range, all right? Press to the edge, then come out of it. Work that edge with that good tall torso. Quick recap. Plank, 3 to 5 seconds, to side plank, 3 to 5 seconds, 3 to 5 reps, showing that good control, transitioning over to the other side in the side plank. Then forearm plank with toe point, for 20 to 30 seconds, or forearm plank or forearm knee plank. Prone shoulder raise, 6 to 10 alternating at a 1 to 2 second hold per rep. And then you're gonna go back to that forearm plank, either adding in the toe point or leaving it as a plain forearm plank. And then standing tall, opening up those hips with some side lunges, 6 to 10 at a 303 tempo. 2 to 3 rounds there, taking the time just to really fire up that core, get those shoulders ready to go in that side plank before we start using those shoulders in our snatches. So pause, rock that, get it done, have some fun, get that core fired up, because we're gonna come at you with a little bit more kind of upper body engagement than some lower body dynamic. All right, our next phase is gonna be our snatches and our sumo deadlift high pulls. So what we're gonna use is this little complex we've done in the past, where we're gonna work right from that sumo deadlift high pull into our snatches. So what I'm gonna do is on one side, I'm going to use facing forward, and then face profile so you guys can see my hip position and my back angle. So for my sumo deadlift high pull, I'm gonna set myself up like I'm gonna do a sumo deadlift, I should say. Hips are down, chest is high, and I'm going to push through those legs. So I'm gonna push through those legs, getting some momentum going on that dumbbell, and then continue the momentum with the arm. So I take that dumbbell down to where I feel comfortable, mid-shin to the floor, push through those legs to drive into that dumbbell, and then again come back down. I'm focusing on that push through the legs to allow that dumbbell to move. From here, I'm just gonna continue the momentum overhead into that snatch. So I'm gonna come down, set, I'm gonna push, and I'm gonna pull myself into the bottom of that position so I can receive the dumbbell in a locked out position. One more time, I take it down, I push through the legs, and I extend through those hips, bringing that dumbbell to that overhead position, and get set up in that nice, strong receiving position for the snatch. Now from profile, just so you guys can see, my back position for both movements are about the same. So I take it back and down. I'm a little lower than I'd be in a traditional deadlift. I push through those legs, get that nice high pull, come back down, nice set position, push through those legs, one more time, set, push, and then I move into my snatch. So I continue the momentum as I push, stand tall, come down, take it down on the floor, and I push, continuing that momentum, driving that snatch through the legs and the hips. So my legs do 90% of the work. My arm pulls that position into place as I pull myself under the dumbbell and I land locked out with that nice strong punch. So really feel those legs, feel that contact with the feet in those sumo deadlift high pulls, and that will transition to the snatch very well. Now after that, once we've repeated on both sides, we're gonna move to our back scale to high knee jump. So we're gonna work on some coordination work here. The big thing with this jump is remembering that the leg that goes back is the arm that comes forward. So we reach opposite, and then as I come through, my hands switch. So I'm using that upper body and lower body to work together to generate momentum and power. Now the big thing here to get that little lift is bringing that leg through, letting it come up, and that little lift is what brings me up. My ankle finishes the pop, that finishes that drive, and allows me to go vertical. If you're not really stoked on jumping per se, that's fine. You can work on the balance aspect of this movement set. You can come through with that big long reach, come through into that high knee, controlling the momentum a little bit so we're not lifting, but we can work on balance. From here, we're gonna work on some more balance and some side movement. We're gonna take our body, get ourselves set up, point that toe, trying to keep a straight line of action from our shoulder, hip, and foot. nice and tall. Hands can go where they need to be, but we're gonna lift that leg up to the side with control, bringing it down. Trying to continue that same line of action so that we're not leaning over and tipping to get the leg higher. We're just engaging through that leg, and our mobility and our strength through the hip is what's gonna allow us to get it higher or lower. After that, we're gonna use a movement that we're gonna see in the work set. We're gonna work on that lateral ski jump for 20 seconds. So we're gonna get ourselves set up. We're gonna drive and swing and drive, working on that nice lateral ski jump. Again, generating power with the upper body and the lower body, getting that good reach, that good drive into that work set. Now, if you're not a jumper with this, again, you can still learn that kind of driving, using the arms and the legs at the same time to get that momentum, and we just step. So when I land with this leg, the other leg then follows instead of it coming in the air whenever I'm jumping. So we firmly plant that foot on the floor first, then we pull that leg along with it. Something though, if you'd like to start transitioning from the jumping and the stepping, if you're like, I kind of want to start trying to jump, but that's too far, I can't really go very far, that's fine. You can work on little jumps, leaving the ground, little jump. And then over time, we can start getting more comfortable, getting it bigger and bigger as you're building skill, strength, and the ability to control that lateral energy. So experiment, have some fun with it. It's only 20 seconds. We're not looking for a ton of reps. We're just looking for quality and a chance to practice that skill. Now, quick recap. We have our dumbbell sumo deadlift high pull for 3. Then we're gonna go into the snatch for 2. Switching hands for 3, snatch for 2. Then we're gonna start moving into those jumps. Back scale to high knee jump for 20 seconds per side, working again, skill, that balance work into your side scale raise for 5 a side, and lateral ski jump for 20 seconds. Back and forth, alternating. You can take that down, 3 to 5 rounds. Practicing that snatch, getting that shoulder warmed up. If you'd like to add in an overhead hold, you're more than welcome to do so. It's always nice to warm those shoulders up with a little holding, isometric hold at the top. So please be my guest there if you'd like. But pause the video, tackle that down, 3 to 5 rounds, get yourself fired up, ready for what's to come, and get ready for this little sprinter. All right. The workout is here. We have this 1 round of work, nice sprinting work set. You're gonna take down 30 alternating dumbbell snatches. So you're gonna take that from the floor or whatever feels comfortable for you to maintain back position somewhere below the knee. So you're gonna rock 30 alternating, total count, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 30. Then you're gonna move into the jump squat for 60. So that's gonna be a good time. So we have 3 different variations of jump squat. We have its foundational movement, which is the air squat. So keeping our feet flat, chest tall, setting through our glutes and our ribs. Then we take the hips to the heel, trying to stay as upright in that torso as we can. Or we have our non-jumping jump squat. So we get ourselves set up in the same stance. We take it down, drive, and pull back down. So we're not leaving the ground, but we're definitely getting a stronger acceleration that's gonna lift us off of our heels, but then pull right back down, keeping that same stance. Last but not least, our third variation is the full jump squat where we leave the ground. The foundation is the same, except we actually leave the ground, driving those legs, pushing through those feet, and getting that nice little lift. Doesn't have to be high, but we are looking for that leg and hip extension to take us off the ground, and then we pull back into that same position or same stance, and then get ourselves well taken down for the next rep. So again, the foundational movement is that air squat. The next phase would be that non-jumping jump squat, and then full jumping jump squat. After that, we move into 30 lateral ski jumps. So your legs are gonna be a little fried moving into these lateral ski jumps. It's okay, just take your time, work on those reps. You have to break them down like every 5, 6 reps, just a little shakeout. Please do so. Make sure that you are landing, pausing briefly, returning the energy so that we're controlling that lateral energy really well. Make sure that you're giving yourself that momentary pause to return back the other way. Now, this is a sprinter. It's a fast one, but there are some key skills involved. So I want you guys to make sure that you're pushing the pace, but you're listening to your movement in your body so that you maintain good position all the way through, especially with those snatches and those squats. So take your time, see how it feels as you're going, speed it up, pull the speed back to adjust, pick the pace back up again, do what you gotta do, one round through. So let's celebrate these two amazing individuals and celebrate with a nice sprint. So, quick recap again. 1 round, dumbbell snatch, 30 total count, jump squat for 60, lateral ski jump for 30 alternating. Oh, it's gonna be sweet. Let's have a good time, you guys. I hope you have a fantastic birthday, Karen. I hope you guys enjoy, and everyone else out there, I hope you guys enjoy this work set. It's gonna be a fast one. We're gonna take it back a notch tomorrow with some gymnastics, and then have some fun moving into the later days of the week. As always, work for quality, have a ton of fun, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, you guys.